Very true. But I'm wondering if you just picked this one because you felt the other choice was kind of not correct. Regardless, you're right. Females can also compete for mates, and that can affect how females evolve as well. And that's why I was really careful in making my introduction very general and not associating it with a particular sex. Sexual selection can affect all individuals, but it will be much stronger on the sex that is limited in their reproductive opportunities. More often, that's males, but that's not always the case. Sometimes females can be more colorful and elaborate, and sometimes it's females that can evolve behaviors that are associated with maximizing fitness in a situation that limits their opportunities to reproduce. And in that case, it's males that may be choosy. So sexual selection is an awesome force, and it's often important not to start thinking about it with our own sex or gender biases. The last thing I'd like to talk about is sexual conflict, and that generally deals with what males and females want from a relationship. Every relationship is a spectrum of possibilities. In an ideal world, females would love males to care for offspring after they lay the eggs, and males would simply like to fertilize some eggs and do that as often as much as possible. This is because, in most situations anyway, females are limited because they have to produce costly eggs or incubate the offspring in some way, while males only need to produce sperm and nothing more. So obviously this is a major simplification, but you need to be wary of such oversimplifications. Nothing is ever really that simple, but it's interesting to start at this base and ask what could modify the investment that an individual puts into a relationship. There's a lot of interesting questions there. Again, these are questions that a lot of us work on in the School of Bees, and we explore them in various organisms, including humans. But let's focus on this spectrum just to add a little bit of complexity, but not go overboard. In between is biparental care or resource provisioning in terms of a territory or a gift prior to copulation, and likely many more things. But the point I'm trying to make here is that although males and females need to mate to produce offspring, each sex wants to give up as little as possible to do so, and that's sexual conflict. That's why it's common to see males trying to take advantage of females in many different species, like different species of water striders. We can look at the front pair of legs of male water striders and see that males have evolved these appendages that allow them to grasp females to try and coerce them into mating. In response, females have evolved these spikes on their abdomen that make it harder for males to successfully inseminate them. This is an arms race. Each sex wants to gain as much control over the opposite sex to make sure they maximize their own fitness. Sexual conflict is a whole other lesson, really, and it's something we talk more about in third year evolution. But I wanted to make sure you were at least aware that this happens, so you didn't think that relationships are just this beautiful thing where males and females always work together to raise offspring. Now that you know about two of the most important processes that have shaped life on this planet, natural and sexual selection, hopefully you'll now start seeing the world a little bit differently. And that's what makes doing this kind of stuff really fun. See you next time.